So for today, I'm really excited to lead you guys through how to become a coach and what that looks like. Because it's really important for us to get clear about what the path is, because there's plenty of curveballs along the way. So I'm going to share my screen so we're both on the same page. I hit record. Any questions that you have along the way, don't hesitate to throw them in the chat because, well, we're always going to have questions. That's just what pops up. All right. So, come on, technology. Me and technology. All right. So we're kicking things off with how to be a coach. And as we're running through today, any questions that you have, again, drop them in the chat. I will answer them as we go along, or I'll save them for the end, depending on where it fits into for today. But I want to hear from you. This is your time. And I'm shooting for a half hour because we've got life and busyness. Definitely carve out 40 minutes. And then if we really get in flow and we've got a lot of questions, I've blocked off the hour for us to be here together. So I want us to be to the point, to be clear, to create that clear roadmap, answer any questions that you have, because I don't know about you, but when I step into any webinar experience, any workshop experience, I usually arrive with some questions, and I have other questions that unfold for me as I go along. So knowing that I'm going to step into an experience and have those questions answered is really important to me. So let's just start there. If we were in person, I would have you taking a Post-it note and writing each one of your questions about how to become a coach onto a Post-it so that we could collectively look at all the questions that we have. But I want to hear from you. Let's let our chat be our space for questions. What questions do you have about coaching? What myths do you have about coaching? Right? There's plenty of coaching myths out there. In fact, our marketing team was coming up with different imagery and different things. And we had created boards of inspiration and everything. And there was one that they posted on there that said, like, become a coach in in 24 hours, or like on a Sunday. And I was like freaked out. I was like, no, you just can't become a coach in like one day. And she was laughing. She's like, no, Bailey, I liked the layout of how they laid this out, like where the positioning of the words and the images of her. But it's true. There are a ton of myths, of questions that we have along the way. And it's 100% my goal to have you step away from today having all of your questions answered. Anything that is a top of mind as of right now. So drop them in the chat. We can answer them as we go along, or answer them at the end. All the questions that you have, any myths that you have about coaching, it's going to get taken care of today. So there are a ton of questions that I'm thrown at all the time. So I've been running a coach training program for nearly 8 years, been running this company for nearly 8 years, and I get tons of questions all the time. And here's some of our heavy hitter questions. Like, is coaching for me? Am I going to be any good at it? How do I become a coach? Who do I coach? I don't know where to start. I've never run my own business before. What if I fail? What if I fail is a big one, right? We all wish we had this crystal ball. And I would ask you, like, in the past, have you failed before? Right? But we talk this game to ourselves. Where do I get clients? I want to be a coach, but I don't want to do it like everyone else on Instagram, right? Or like, what if I want to keep my full-time gig and then do coaching on the side? So you probably have lots of questions. Drop them in the chat. So I'm here to answer your questions. We've also have Kayla. She's our lead peer mentorship coach in the coach training program. So she's also on to answer any questions that you have. So if you like mysteriously find your question answered, it's not mysterious. It's Kayla. She's on to help us as well. But the truth is, here's how information works. Okay. In green is what you know. And this pertains to everything from baking a cake to even becoming a coach. Like, here's what you know. And then in teal is what you know that you don't know, right? So what are your blind spots? I love, throw those in the chat. What are your blind spots, right? Because those blind spots are going to feel so super scary unless we shine the light on them and illuminate them. So what don't you know? And that you know that you don't know. So for me, stepping into this journey, I knew this much about marketing, this much, absolutely nothing. And the only other experience I had prior to this in running my own business was a lemonade stand. And I don't even think I could ride a bike by the time I had my lemonade stand, right? So there were things that I knew that I didn't know. I didn't know about how to run a business. I didn't know about marketing when I stepped into running my own company. And then there is this orange spot, and that's why it kind of looks like Pac-Man, right? It's what you don't know that you don't know. So hopefully for today, there's going to be some illumination of like, okay, here's some answers to questions that I have, but at the same time, there might be some illumination of, oh, here's more areas that I didn't know that I didn't know. It's fine. So as you have questions, as you realize what your blind spots are, drop them in the chat. It's going to help us to help you answer any questions that you have. And as I promised you, I will answer every single question that you have. Even if we come to the hour and I need to DM you or hop on the phone with you personally or talk to Kayla personally, we promise you we'll answer every question that you have, because I've been there on that path where you know you want to do something big, but you don't know how to do it. And it's really nice to have a playbook. Today is where we're going to give you the playbook. Because what we're going to go over are the 5 things that you must know before becoming a coach. These 5 things were not only from me when I first started things out, but now after having into our 8th group, our 8th experience of the coach training program, these were collective, the heavy hitters of what people didn't know when they knew they want to be a coach, but they didn't know these 5 things. So who am I, right? So for many of you, you might know me. I'm Bailey. I'm a psychotherapist, coach. I'm the author of Own Your Power. I'm the founder of Mindrise. We help leaders and entrepreneurs to master their mindset and elevate their life. I'm also the founder of the Life and Leadership Coach Training Experience. And truthfully, this experience came from my own leap, right? So in 2013, I took the leap to becoming a coach. I left my career that I had built and decided I was going to not only become a coach, new career, but also have my own business. Can I do that? Hopefully, right? And I took that leap 8 years ago. But at the time that I took that leap, I deeply craved a coaching program that was going to show me a clear roadmap to not only how to become a coach, but also how to have a successful business. Because the truth is, it's not enough to just want to help people, right? Which is a good thing. But if you don't know how to run a business, then guess what? No one's going to know about what you're doing. So that was 8 years ago. And I can tell you with a lot of pride that not only have I created a coaching business and become a coach, but I've doubled my business every year in some capacity. And I went from I don't know to a 6-figure business that we are consistently growing. And I share that because it's really important to know that like success doesn't happen overnight, but that there is a playbook. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Because when you want to do big things, we got to take the guesswork out of it. But it's not just me. We have a team. These are just some of our team members. There's Kayla, who I'm going to refer to a lot because she's our lead peer mentorship coach. She's on the left. And then there's Jen, and she's one of our Mindrise coaches on the right. And again, it's amazing to be surrounded by a community that's lifting you up. So not only am I here to help you and support you, but Kayla is actually here today, but we also have a team that's here to support you as you grow, because that's what it is. I might not know the answer, but we have an awesome group of people that are going to support you in getting the answer that you need and the resources that you need. But I'm a real person too, right? We have all these titles and these resumes and everything, but I'm a real person too. I take ridiculous selfies in the mirror. I'm a mama. I'm a yogi. I love to travel when travel is permitted. I've been to 35 countries and I plan on doing at least 35 more. I have a dog, I stand on stage, I talk, I have friendships, right? So we have a real life too. And we have to consider that as we're stepping into a new endeavor for whatever that looks like. It's not as if our life happens in a bubble alongside of our career, right? This is all one bubble together because it's you. So as we talk about the 5 things that you must know before becoming a coach, again, I'm going to highly, highly, highly encourage you, throw any and all questions that you have as we go through, throw it in the chat, right? Why are you here? What do you want to get out of today, right? Throw that in the chat. What do you want to get out of today? Because we're here to answer all of the questions that you have. So here's the first one. Why do I want to become a coach? The other 4 questions don't actually matter. I know, crazy as that sounds. The other 4 questions don't matter because unless you know why you want to become a coach, actually taking the leap and doing the darn thing is going to be really hard to do. So, coaching is for you if you desire to be a change maker, if you want freedom of your time, if you want to learn how to help others achieve their personal best, if you believe in the power of inspired leadership, and if you want to live your best life, right? And as cheesy as that sounds, there's a lot of truth in being the author of your own story, right? We get to decide who we want to be. In fact, this morning, I was talking to my daughter, and it's her birthday. And I know it's an older picture I showed you, but she's 6. And like today is her 6th birthday. So we're driving, and she asked me, like, Mama, what would happen if I bumped my head? Well, she says bumped my head. What would happen if I bumped my head and I lost my memory? And she said, how would I know that I am Phoebe? Right? Like, what an existential question is like as a 6-year-old. But she asked me this question. And I just simply said to her, which is probably like way above what she was looking for. Because then she asked me if we could Google it because she didn't like my answer. But I liked my answer. And I said, Phoebes, we get to decide who we want to be. Like right now, when we're 6, you get to decide what kind of 6-year-old version of Phoebe that you want to be, just as I get to decide what kind of 38-year-old version of me that I want to be, as do you. You get to decide who you want to be in life. So is life coaching for you? Maybe. It might not be for you. It might not be for you if you don't enjoy interacting or helping others, if you tend to be cranky, negative, or combative, right? Everyone thinks that it's all about that tough love. And while all my clients can tell you, I do deliver a little bit of that Jersey style butt kicking, and at the same time, lots of love. But coaching might not be for you if you tend to focus on the negative, and being a business owner or a coach might not be for you if you crave certainty and routine, right? But remember, you've got range and you can do a lot of things. You could do very hard things. So it's about listening to your heart, right? And who you decide to be. So when it comes to why I became a coach, these were my like top reasons why I became a coach. Maybe they're going to resonate for you, maybe they won't. But and as you see this word twice here on the left, freedom. For me, my biggest value in the world is freedom. I wanted freedom of my time, freedom of my location. I wanted to be able to increase my income based on what I wanted to do, right? Not just like when and if I would earn the promotion. I wanted to be my own boss and call my own shots to decide. Like I said to you, today is my daughter's birthday. So she was in school and she brought her little treats. And guess what? I'm going to finish my day early and go pick her up early. And we're going to go to the park and we're going to do our thing. And I don't have to tell anybody about that because I get to be my own boss. And there's something about that freedom. So it is about that increased income, but it's also about being able to serve, right? Service is such a huge part of things for me. Making that impact and serving my ideal clients, the people that I connect with, feels so good. Adding new tools to my practice. That was always so important to me. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't know if I want to be a full-blown coach or have my complete own coaching business, that's okay. Like we've had people who've stepped into this program just to learn how to better lead and connect their current teams, even if they remained in corporate, right? So becoming a coach doesn't necessarily mean you have to run your own business, but we're going to give you the tools to run your own business and to lead effectively. And for me, I wanted to add a new dimension to my career, right? We have our education that takes us so far, and then we explore into our career space. And guess what, guys? You're not done growing. So for me, I wanted to add that next level and that new dimension. So these might be some things that are true for you as well. All right. So let's just go with some brass tacks of numbers. I like these numbers that come out of ICF. This is the International Coaching Federation. And I think that one of the reasons why this slide in particular is relevant in why coaching works is to see some of these top elements: increased productivity, positive people, return on investment. I love this number down here that says like people, 68% of people had reported that they made their investment back. Companies felt, like teams as a whole felt 86% that they had made back their investment in investing in their team, their people, themselves to be coached, right? And then the positivity aspect, which I'm a positivity junkie, not in the sense that, you deny the tough parts of life, because there's always tough parts of life, but 80% improved self confidence. When we feel better about ourselves, and here's the psychotherapist in me coming out, but like when we feel better about ourselves, we show up better in the world. It's our self talk cycle. I talk a lot about that in my book, Own Your Power, right? It's how our words connect to our feelings, connect to our actions. So 80% improved self confidence, 73% improved relationships, 72% improved communication skills, 67% improved work life balance. Like these are some pretty good numbers. Right. So why do you want to be a coach? Maybe some of these numbers, right? Because we're all wired differently. Maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's just the brass tacks and the logic. Maybe this resonates for you. But why do you want to become a life coach? Maybe you find that you're gravitating toward coaching in some capacity, whether it's life coaching, leadership coaching, or your own variety of coaching, because people already tend to come to you for support, right? And you tend to feel fulfilled by helping others, or if you're a natural mentor or coach, because life coaching focuses on helping others to achieve their personal best, right? Coaching tends to be focused on the here and now. Coaching is about goal setting, motivation, and accountability for personal change. So if you're feeling drawn to becoming a coach, maybe some of these things are resonating for you. Okay. The second thing that you need to know before becoming a coach: how do you get clients? Right? Going back to our questions that we had, our stream of questions, anything that you have, this is always a top heavy hitter. Anytime I do this presentation, right? Is how do you get clients? Because we want to help. And in order to run a business, like you got to eat. So, how do you get clients? How do you spread the word? How do you put yourself out there? Well, it starts with, who do you want to work with? This is one of the most important slides on this entire PowerPoint. Who do you want to work with? Because if you're not clear about who you want to work with, guess what? Like it's really hard to speak to or get clients in any capacity because you're not clear here. Okay. So I need you to be able to answer these 5 questions. I'm going to go through them quickly. And again, like I said, I'm going to send the recording of this, but this is also a screenshot one if you want to screenshot it. But can you answer these 5 questions right now when you're thinking about becoming a coach? Who is my ideal client? What is my core message? What is my method of service delivery? What results do my clients desire? What results do I want for myself? Right? These 5 questions are pivotal, absolutely pivotal in figuring out how are you going to get clients. Because the truth is, we have barriers to coaching success coming out the ears. I promise you. Right. And these right here are 6 of the top barriers that I've experienced and so many of our students experienced prior to doing the coach training program. Right. Lacking clarity about that ideal client and coaching. When we speak to everyone, we speak to no one. You don't want to be the Walmart of coaching. You want to be niche down and speaking directly to who needs to hear you. Another potential barrier: no marketing experience, right? Feeling uncertain about how to launch a coaching business, because guess what? Launching is an actual thing. Difficulty in running a successful 6-figure business, because here's the thing: you want to grow your business. And then eventually you might need to have a team to support you because the business has grown. That's a good thing. But sometimes we start to trip over our own 2 feet as we grow, right? And this is one of the biggest barriers to being successful in something that you love. Feeling confused about your unique niche in the coaching market. We work a lot on this. Another barrier: lacking confidence. This is a huge one, huge. Lacking confidence in sharing your voice or your unique message, right? Because when we're not feeling it here, it's really hard to express it here and stay in alignment. Question number 3, right? We're doing pretty good on time. Question number 3. What do you need to be a coach? I get this question all the time because, as my team had found, there are things that on the internet that say like become a coach in a day or order this piece of paper here, which there's nothing wrong with those programs. We've designed our experience a little bit differently, but I'm going to just give you an idea of what you do need in order to be a coach. So there are special considerations, because while coaching at this point of time does not require an advanced degree, it is important to get the training and the support. Like the community is key to having a successful business, right? So you want to surround yourself with people who are rising high. So special considerations are like that willingness to help others, having that coach training, having marketing knowledge. And if you want to step into being a coach and having a coaching business, having effective communication skills, how to identify your ideal client, right? That's really important to know. And a general sense of business know-how. As I said, prior to starting this business, lemonade stand. Like I was still had training wheels. That was my business before this, right? And since then, I've built a very successful business. How? Like it wasn't a magic wand. I've done a lot of different trainings. I've had a lot of great mentors, and I brought all of that into this experience here because I just always thought it should be easier than trying to collect from these parts over here. Like, just give me the straight roadmap. But I also want to address how life coaching and therapy are different because in many ways people don't know this answer, and I think that it's important delineation when we talk about what do you need in order to become a life coach. People think, oh well, Bailey, you're a therapist, maybe you have to be a therapist to be a life coach. You don't. I just happened to be a therapist before becoming a coach. I could have easily been making balloon animals and a clown, right? But I think it's important that we talk about the difference here because coaching does not provide mental health assessment. It does not provide diagnosis. Coaching doesn't dive into past traumas or psychodynamics. Coaching does not require an advanced degree or mental health training, but that's why I highly recommend a coach training program to have that scaffolding and support. Coaching is not always reimbursed by health insurers, but interestingly enough, several insurance companies are actually like hiring coaches, which I love this, because they're trying to take a more proactive measure to health for who they insure. So it's really very interesting. So coaching, it's not always reimbursed, but sometimes it is. And coaching is not subject to the same ethical obligations as mental health treatment. So that's important to know. So if you do see things on your Instagram or Facebook, wherever, that say like become a coach in a day, or enter your credit card number here to get your coaching certificate by tomorrow. That's true. It's true. I don't condone it. I don't recommend it, but that's just my own path and the reason I say is that that's true and that is available, but because coaching is not subject to the same ethical obligations as mental health treatment. It doesn't require licensing of any sort. So that's why training is really very important. Okay, we're crushing it. Question number 4. Oh, I get this question all the time. Okay. Is coaching lucrative? All right. So we said that these were some of the numbers up here, right? That there are an estimated 47,000 professional coaches. I would definitely say that the number is in the 50s at this point, and bringing in an annual income of close to $2 billion, if not more. Everything online has grown infinitely, and especially since the last year that we've had. But let's just look at some brass tacks numbers, right? So is coaching lucrative? Here's just a nice little potential chart. And what I made this from, okay, is just doing it part-time. I threw in for vacation time because if we're going apples to apples with your current job, you probably have vacation time. So I threw vacation time in here. I didn't even put these numbers as like a 40-hour client load a week. But is coaching lucrative? Here are some potential numbers. And you don't have to start year one at 75 an hour. Maybe your unique brand of coaching is bringing in the skill set that you're bringing is you're going to start at a different number. That's fine. This just gives us a range with which to work with as we're starting off. You could be starting off at 75. You could be starting off at 225. You decide. But here's just a little bit of a framework. Okay. And again, through the program, we talk about different packages, programs, how we set things up. Maybe it's not all one-to-one, but for the brass tacks of some numbers, this is a pretty good part-time side gig, right? Okay. Question number 5. Oh, we're doing so great. Okay. Question number 5 is, how do you start a coaching practice? Da-da-da-da-da. So if from questions 1 through 4, right, that you need to know before becoming a coach, you're like, okay, yes, box checked. Okay, I'm in. This question number 5, this is the one you really want to pay attention to, because how do you actually start a coaching practice, right? You've raised your hand and said, yes, I want to be a coach, but how do we actually start this coaching practice? So how to become a life coach? These are 6 things that you need to know, right? You need to know your ideal client. We talk about it all the time. We crush it in the program and giving you all the tools that you need to figure that one out. You feel confident in your ability to coach. Right? Because confidence is kind of key here, guys. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do have to feel in alignment. Creating packages and programs. It's one of the ways to become a coach is how are you going to serve? What's the container with which you're going to serve? Know how you feel the best serving. Maybe you are straight up raw one-on-one coaching. You love it. You eat it for breakfast. Maybe you do your best work in groups, connecting. Maybe you do your best work like I'm showing here with educating. You get to decide. We're going to teach you all these different elements of coaching. Marketing to the right audience, right? Because when we speak to everyone, we speak to no one. This is important to know. So how to become a life coach, we're going to be marketing and speaking to the right audience. And how to become a life coach, create a business that you love. Right? You didn't come here to leave one business, one career that doesn't light you up to step into another one that doesn't light you up. No, like you came here in this life to live lit up and alive. And since that's what you're here for on this planet, all of us, let's make it the best that it could possibly be. Let's create a business that you love. Okay. As we talked about before, right? So we want to do this. Woohoo! Yes, this is how I'm going to become a life coach. And then this brick wall meets us, right? Remember these 6 barriers. These are no joke. There has been rarely a person that has ever come through our coach training or myself or any of our team members that didn't check at least 2 to 3 of these boxes. Me, I checked all 6 of these boxes, right? These barriers. Lacking that clarity about the ideal client or just about the path of coaching, no marketing experience, feeling uncertain about how to launch a coaching business, difficulty in running a successful 6-figure business, feeling confused about your unique niche in the coaching market, right? Like we get out there and we want to be able to share our voice. And when we lack our confidence in sharing our voice or our message, that'll hold us back every single time. I promise you. So I'm going to share with you like our path and what we've built. And again, as I said to you from the very beginning, I built this purely because I wanted a clear roadmap to do 2 things at the same time, to become a coach and to run a successful business, right? So if you're here for either one of those things, I'm talking to you. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the Life and Leadership Coach Training Program. Again, this is something that we've been running for nearly 8 years. We've had lots of groups that have of students and cohorts, as I call them, that have come through, and I'm so immensely proud of all of our alumni and what they've done and what they've created from having these tools in this 6-month experience to what they then built for themselves. It's awesome. I'm just like super pumped. Okay, because it's about making your impact. I love this picture. Well, other than the fact that I like the color blue, because this picture right here was a someday maybe for me. 8 years ago, if you would have told me that I would have stood on stage in front of a couple hundred people and talked to them and had them listening to me, I would have been like, yeah, first of all, I feel way too nervous. Second of all, I like really like, what would I be doing that all that would be for me? Or eventually I worked my mind to like someday, hopefully. And this is why I include this picture on this page and also on the website, because this is my someday picture, guys. This is my maybe someday picture. And this came true. I've stood on stage and I've talked to hundreds of people. And that's such a privilege. So you get to make your impact however it is. Maybe you're sitting on a beach or sitting under the blanket of a forest and leading and connecting. You get to decide what your flavor is. I'm going to teach you how to make the cheesecake, but you want a raspberry swirl? Sweet. You're going to be able to do that. You want to make it peanut butter cheesecake? Awesome. But we're going to teach you how to make the cheesecake, how to make your impact. So you are here and you're in the right spot. If you, as we said before, if you desire to be that change maker, you want freedom of your time, you want to learn how to help others achieve their personal best, you believe in the power of inspired leadership, and you want to live your best life. Like you didn't come here to play small in life. And you want a clear roadmap to becoming the coach and the leader that you know that you're meant to be. And this coach training experience, we affectionately call it the LLCT, so Life and Leadership Coach Training. But it's for people who want to coach with confidence, lead with clarity, and enjoy success along the way. So if those three flavors sound good for you, you're again in the right place, because you get to also create the freedom that you want in life. Freedom is my biggest value. It is woven all over the tapestry that is Mindrise, all over the tapestry that is LLCT, our coach training, because it's got to be about freedom. This is your one life and you have to do it your way. And we're going to teach you the tools so that you can build whatever you want. All right, so here are our 4 pillars within the LLCT. Now, we're doing pretty good on time. I'm going a little bit over, but stick with me, guys. All right, so here are the 4 pillars: how to coach with confidence, how to build a successful coaching practice, how to launch your coaching business, because launching is a thing, guys, and how to clearly market yourself. So these are the 4 pillars of the coach training program. But interestingly enough, like, the truth is that we're going to be using your personal development as a starting point for how you work with your clients. Okay, because it starts with going deeply within, because the training goes beyond just simply building a coaching business. And as I promised you, we're going to learn how to be a coach and how to build a business. But the truth is, like, we start with you as the coach, right? So it teaches you how to walk your talk and live your most inspired life as you build this business. Okay, so in the training, you're going to finally know your ideal client. You're going to feel confident in your ability to coach. You're going to create packages and programs and know how you feel you're best serving, market to the right audience, creating that business that you love, and just like feeling lit up in your life. Because we already talked about this, right? This is how information works, right? You're here because you're in the green. You know that you are thinking about becoming a coach, right? And you also are here because of the teal, because you know that there's some things about becoming a coach that you don't know, or running a business that you don't know, or marketing that you don't know. Okay, so you're here for the green and the teal. But then Pac-Man comes along and there's a whole lot that you don't know that you don't know. And this program is designed entirely to give you the step by step of how to build the business. That's exactly what we do, alongside of being a coach and knowing yourself inside and out. So I'm really proud of the program, and I'm proud of our graduates. I'm proud of our team, because we all come together as a community. In fact, I just had someone shoot me an email asking me, what size are the cohorts that you run? And I said, I like to have them small, because I like our experience to be conversational style. Even when it came to like applying for colleges, I never wanted to be in the room where it was like that stadium seating and I was like number 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Instead, I loved those classroom experiences where we're in there, we're intimately talking, we're connecting, we're meeting after class, like we're getting to know each other. But the truth is, like, you don't know what you don't know. And having a path that's laid out for you, it allows you to exhale and just focus on you and your creativity. Because who are you, right? So who's this training designed for? You're here if you are a natural leader, a mentor, a confidant, an entrepreneur. Maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you are a coach, maybe you're an executive, maybe you're a business owner, maybe you're in management. But you have a discerning eye, right? You have a positive attitude. You enjoy quality experiences, and you expect nothing but the best, right? And the passion to lead and inspire others. And you want freedom. You want fulfillment. You want to be the best you. You want to level up your life. You want to level up your business, your leadership, just to create that great abundance and success, because you believe in paying it forward, right? So this is who this is for. So if this doesn't resonate for you, it's totally fine. But this person, like, we're here speaking the same language. We're here for the same snack. Okay. Alyssa, love, love, love Alyssa. So just to share with you a little bit of some of our grads, Alyssa shares, she said that her world's been shifted. She transitioned from the corporate world to life as an entrepreneur. More confidence, we talked about that confidence earlier, guys. More confidence equals better relationships across the board. And I'm excited to continue to make space for creativity. So there's Alyssa. Quote from Oprah, right? If you could unleash everything great in your life, would you do it? So I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat. What questions do you have? What's popping up for you? Got a couple more minutes. If you can unleash everything great in your life, would you do it? Right? What's holding you back? Where do you get stuck? So, are you a fit? We've talked about this earlier to see if life coaching is for you, but in this particular program, right, we said that coaching is free if you want freedom of your time, creating that impact, that exact path to becoming a coach, how you want to have a successful business, you believe that there are more career paths, you don't want to stay stuck, you want to confidently be able to market your business, you want to learn how to effectively coach. And especially like we do talk a lot about how you're wired, and I can't help that. I developed the curriculum and I'm a psychotherapist. So I'm going to teach you a lot about how people are wired, how they think, um, and how to launch your own business. But the truth is, you might want to sit this one out. And I'm saying this is not even like the fine print. This is like the full on disclaimer, but you might want to sit this one out if you have trouble committing to you and you don't trust yourself to complete the training program. You might want to sit this one out if you aren't ready to work on your personal successes or challenges and take a good look at yourself first, because the quality of our coaching is direct correlation to the quality of how we feel about ourselves, how we're treating ourselves. You might want to sit this one out if you're totally stressed out by bills and debt, right? If that stuff's plaguing you, this might not be the right investment for you right now. Or if you feel like chaos follows you and you have a tendency to say yes to too many things and then not follow through, because the truth is, follow through is really important, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. We really need to show up for ourselves. All right, I have a couple more slides to give you guys all the scoop. We talked about these barriers. Just say goodbye to these barriers. Like, you're not available for this anymore. But what does the training experience look like? Okay, so I'm going to give you a kind of a behind the scenes of what the experience looks like. So we have weekly training modules, homework to complement your training, all texts and materials. We have a private Facebook community, right? So that's what the training includes. Plus, we do a monthly 2-hour live seminar. So this is our virtual Zoom classroom, monthly all access office hours. In fact, right after this, I've got an office hours for our fall cohort. They're graduating at the end of this month. I'm so pumped for them. This experience also includes peer coaching. What's particularly unique about our coach training program is that you are coaching from the time you start the program all the way through, right? It's not a matter of you're going to get all this knowledge and then after graduation you start coaching. I don't believe in that. We believe that you get your practice from the very beginning. You're going to be coaching each other, and then from there we're going to teach you how to get scholarship clients and really build your client base, all before you graduate, because we want you to graduate and be making back your investment ahead of time. Like, to me, that's just good business. But this also includes 3 full training days, and we break the program. It's about 6 months long. We break it into 3 trimesters, so 3 full training days, and those can be done virtually as well. Let's get a little bit more about the experience. So Nicole, I loved this one in particular from Nicole, because what she started off with was that she was struggling to find her direction forward. And she wanted to pursue a path that would best use her abilities and passions to build the life I love. Have you guys been there when you're like, okay, I'm good at all these things, but like, what does that actually show up as a career? And she shared that since the program, she found the clarity on what she has to offer. And she now shares what she has to offer with others and just feels joyous and authentic daily. So love this from Nicole. Okay. So in the experience, and I told you I was going to give you like kind of a behind the scenes of like, how does this all work? Because we all make decisions from different places. Maybe you make decisions from an emotional place. Maybe you make decisions from a logistical place. To me, I'm a little bit of a both person. Like, I have to like know it and like feel it, but then also like give me the nitty gritty details. So how we learn weekly. Each week, a module lesson goes live to you, sent directly to your inbox. And there's an assignment that comes through. It might be an audio, video, PowerPoint, or reading. Each month, as I said, we have our 2-hour seminar and our office hours. So we do that in our virtual classroom. Those are also recorded. So if for some reason you couldn't be there live, don't worry, they all live in our student portal. So you never miss a step. Because again, life happens. This program is not designed for you to do it in a bubble. It's designed for you to do it while working full time or being a parent or traveling. We've had people who've been in the program from abroad, like the whole spectrum. And then twice a month, you're going to meet with your peer mentorship coach. So that's Kayla. She's on right now with us. And we consider that our field work, right? This is where we're going to be practicing coaching. Because like I said, you're going to be practicing this from the very beginning of the program. All right. Oh, I am going over on time. Just hang with me, guys. I got like a couple more slides. And again, if you have any questions, I promise we're going to be answering all of your questions, either myself or Kayla. So just a glimpse at the program. I want you to just kind of get a flavor for like, what are the modules that we're doing? Here are some of the modules that we're going to be covering, like coaching one-on-one, art of asking, ethics and best practices, marketing, brand awareness, online presence, sharing your voice, networking, referrals, packages and programs, right? All those things can feel really overwhelming to try and take from here and there and here and there. And like instead, we build it on a step by step. Like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Because you can ignite and inspire. This picture I made sure that we included as well, because this is from my first retreat. This is a picture from my very first retreat. And that was, again, one of those things that was like a someday maybe, oh, it'd be really cool to run a retreat. Now we run retreats every year in different international locations. Like, I'm so freaking proud to say that. And that's my new normal. Like, that is my normal. But this was my moment when, yeah, I got that opportunity. This is how we kicked it off. There's lots of FAQs. If you don't already have a copy of our curriculum guide, we can send that over to you so you can take a look. But I want to make sure that we answer all your FAQs on this call, or you can talk to Kayla afterwards, and I'll set you guys up with that as well. Last little quote I want to share with you from Jennifer Kate. Love her. She said, and I love this, she said, prior to starting this program, I knew where I wanted to get. So maybe this is you, right? I know where I want to get, and I know what I want to do, right? I want to be a coach. I want to have my own business, but I didn't know how I was going to get there, right? So how many of us, like, right? So you know what you want to do, but you don't have no idea how to get there. And she said that the Life and Leadership Coach Training Program allowed her to gain more confidence, clarity, and direction in pursuit of her goal. So sometimes we are throwing spaghetti at the wall and we don't know, and we need to plug into a path. And then other times we do know, but we just don't know what that path looks like. And that's what we like to create in this experience. Last element that I want to share with the program is we have our 3 full-day trainings. So I think that that's just important to note that we break the program up into 3 trimesters, and each one is marked by a full-day training. And that's usually at the beginning of each of the trimesters. So we'll do one to kick off the program. That's going to be starting in April. And then we have 2 more as we go along. Again, we're meeting live on a monthly basis, multiple times. We're also recording all of our live sessions, and they live in our student portal. All our modules are in the student portal. Everything is in the student portal. And that's where we connect as well. Okay, so if this feels like this is the next step for you, I just want to kind of walk you through what are the 2 options that you have with training. So maybe you're like, yeah, and like I'm into this, I want the information, and just coach training is your flavor. So coach training would be the weekly training modules, the homework that complements your training, all the texts. Our Amazon Ferry sends books and materials to you, and being part of our private Facebook community. Maybe that feels like the flavor for you. But I'm going to encourage you to go for the gusto. Like, if you're going to do it, do it. Like, if you're going to do it, fully immerse yourself into the community. So the coach training and certification. So not only do you get the weekly training modules, homework, the texts, and our Facebook community, but you also get the monthly seminars, our monthly office hours, our twice monthly peer mentorship coaching, and our 3 full training days. And as COVID lifts, we're going to be able to be in person. But we will always keep a virtual option. Always. I'll let you know when we get to do that. I'm hoping it's sooner than later, but yes, we have the 3 training days. So typically our program is $6,500. I know there are a lot of programs out there that are $10,000 or $15,000, which is great. And that's good for them. To me, I don't think you should have to sell a kidney in order to make a career pivot or change or do something new or add something to your repertoire. So our program is $6,500. Right now we're in our early bird. So if this feels like a fit for you and you're like, oh, hell yes, this is what I want to do, then we make it, I like to throw an incentive, because who doesn't like that? And it's just $5,500. So if it feels like a fit for you and you're like, yes, I want to do this and be part of our early bird, it's $5,500. We also have an option for a payment plan. And while the program is 6 months long, like, Paying it in 12 installments might be a better flavor for you, and that's fine. So we can spread that payment plan option out for a year for you. So it's either 5,500 or 12 payments, monthly payments of 497. So again, whatever fits for you, we have both options. But I also want to kind of share with you guys a little bit of a bonus. So for the first 3 people who register for the coach training from today's webinar, you are going to be able to receive a one-on-one bonus hour-long strategy session with me. So I love strategy sessions. This can be great for us to use before the program starts so that we are really like getting life in alignment and laying the groundwork for what you like your big ideas that you might be bubbling with right now. We can do it midway of the program. It's like, okay, now I have like most of this training under my belt. Here's where I need to get strategic. Or maybe we save it for the end of the program when you have everything together, and then we're going to do our strategy session. But that's for you to decide. But as a bonus to anyone who signs up, the first 3 people who register for the Life and Leadership Coach training and certification are going to get that bonus strategy session with me. All right, so if it feels like a fit for you, we make it really easy. You take out your phone and you just text the word LEAP to 732-487-3404. So what that's going to do is that's going to send you the link for application, right? We like to keep it super simple because simple is best. Simple is easy. So you text LEAP to 732-487-3404. And Kayla can drop that in our chat as well so that you have that. Our program is starting April 19th. Right now, we are an early bird, okay? Don't think that signing up April 18th is a good idea. It's not. Like I said, we like to keep our cohorts small. We like to keep them intimate. We like to keep them very connected. And we are pretty discerning about like making sure that we have the right chemistry in the group. I think that's important. So the program starts on the 19th. If it feels like a fit for you, text LEAP to 732-487-3404. Or if you have more questions, you might have more questions. This is the lovely Kayla. I know I keep referring to her. You guys can see me. Here's Kayla. So you need help figuring out how to make this a yes for you. As I said, the program is designed so that you can be a parent, you can have a full-time gig, you can own your own business already and be doing this on the side, whatever. But if you need help, like kind of answering any logistical questions that you have that we weren't able to answer today for you, or you're watching the replay, it's fun. I think it's cute and it's silly, but just text Kayla to 732-487-3404. So that's our phone number at Mindrise. It's the same phone number if you guys look. It's the same phone number. So just not too complicated. But just text Kayla and then she'll shoot you over a link so that you guys can book a call. So you'll just hop on the phone with Kayla and she'll answer any questions that you might have. She is beyond delightful. She is awesome. She's a lot of fun. But if you like need help figuring out how to make this yes for you, you want to know anything that wasn't answered here today, definitely just text over the word Kayla, the name Kayla, to 732-487-3404, and she can answer any questions that you have. If you have any questions for me, she can answer them, or I'm happy to answer them as well. All right, so now I know me and technology, I'm a little dangerous, guys. All right, so be cognizant of the time. I always do this. I went a little bit over on our time for today, but I do want to stop the share and answer any questions that we have in the chat. The chat. Okay, awesome. Everyone's this is like a little social time in the beginning of the chat. Okay. Nahal asked, do you need a counseling background to be a coach? Nope. We checked that box. Do clients ever ask about background education, how credentialed you are or need to be? That's a great question, Nahal. So clients don't always ask that question. Like, do you ever ask your dentist, where did you go to dental school? You really don't, right? You really don't ask that question. That being said, that's why I'm a proponent of having training and having support so that you do have, yes, you have the credentialing to tell them, but even more, like you have a community to support you as you go along. Awesome. Kyle's got a great question. How do we break the mold? Oh, Kyle, I like anything that says break the mold. I get so excited. How do we break the mold of social media marketing formula of X amount of posts, sign up for this, and then blowing up an email inbox? Okay. So Kyle, this is where Kayla, who's awesome on our team, this is where Kayla and I like converge. So Kayla knows all of this social media marketing, the formulas, the algorithms, all this good stuff, right? And I also love to take it from a different perspective because I think that at the end of the day, we need to be leading with relationship. So Mindrise wasn't built overnight, but my company it was built and grew over and over again purely by relationship. So I think that yes, it's very well possible to break the mold of social media marketing. I'm a big fan of making personal connections and creating relationship. And you can actually create your entire business without ever being on social media, as crazy as that sounds. And I can show you exactly how to do that. And in fact, through the program, we talk about this because I think that we need both pieces to build a business through relationship as well as play the algorithms and social media game as well. So awesome question. Okay, that's all of our questions in our chat. That was pretty easy. Anybody has anything else? Like I said, if you're ready, text LEAP to 732-487-3404. If you've got more questions, you want to talk to the infamous Kayla, just text Kayla to our same phone number. You can hit reply to our emails. Like, we just like to make it easy and accessible. I think that there are a lot of great coaching programs out there. And I think at the end of the day, we create a really nice community. And that's what I'm most proud of, is that you can hit reply and a human being is going to reply to you. Most of our students have my cell phone number, if not Kayla's cell phone number, each other's numbers, because you want to just create relationship. So I think that that's just the way that we like to do it here. So we get to know each other and believe at the end of the day that a rising tide lifts all ships. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for staying for the hour. You know, it's like when I have a party, I always say the party's from here to here, but it always goes a couple minutes longer. I'm just getting so excited. Anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.